Hey, we're live. Roy, how you doing?
I'm good. I rushed home to make the cast
Do that
from the Stanford Iowa State duel.
crazy Palo Alto traffic. Nice. Well, welcome
Yeah.
everyone to Sunday Sudden Victory. This is January 4th. We're going to recap what went down this weekend and last week. Roy, do you got to open for us? You go dynamic fly.
For the podcast?
Yeah.
This is Sunday Sudden Victory, where we recap the last week. We give you the new Rumblers, the new Tumblers. We also have our accountability check-in for all the storylines that we're following this year. It is an open show, so if you want to join the Zoom link, just go into the chat. The link is there. Just click on it and give us your hot take.
Somebody just joined in like, oh crap.
Yeah. I want that heat.
I just wanted to watch the podcast. So we do monitor the chat on YouTube. We're not really monitoring the chat on X. So if you want to join the chat, that's the place to go. YouTube link. Actually, I guess I didn't do that, did I? Let me do that real quick. Share that out. I will copy that link. And then let me go over to X. Possibly. Let's see if it'll do it. No. I got to go over here.
The YouTube link or the Zoom link?
The YouTube link.
Oh, because the Zoom link's not on the... Oh, wait.
Yes, it's there. It's there.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. My bad. I'm so rushed.
I know. Crazy.
It was cool, though. It was youth night. So when they did the handshakes at the start of the duel, for both sides, they had like somebody from the youth program go out with them, and the four of them shook hands and stuff. It was cute.
Oh yeah, that's nice. It's good. Tap into those sources of students and future wrestlers and also future audience members. So very, very cool. Well, let's go ahead and get going. Roy, you're going to start the recap. What do we got?
All right. Well, I was at the duel, Stanford versus Iowa State. Not all the starters wrestled. So Poulin wasn't there. 133 Frost wasn't there. Hunter Garvin wasn't there. Lorenzo Norman wasn't there. There might even be a few others that I'm forgetting weren't there. but some of them wrestled. It was 20-18. Came down to the last match. Bastida needed a bonus, and he delivered. He delivered and then some. He got a tech in the second period, I think. So not really in doubt. But it was a good duel. Stanford got the moral victory. Valencia beat Frost.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's interesting. He took him down right away. And then probably for the first two periods, it looked like if anyone was going to get a second takedown, it'd be Valencia. But then Frost came pretty strong in the third period, and Aiden kind of,
Yeah, right.
called him out. And then the other thing is the PSU backups win the Southern Scuffle. Penn took second place, so of the actual teams that are going to NCAAs, Penn took first, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way for sure. I mean, all right, well, cool. Yep. So for me, I guess my recap, Midlands was sort of way down. It was sort of like even from a production standpoint, obviously there weren't that many ranked wrestlers there. Your top ranked wrestler was like 15th or something, they said, that attended the event. And they didn't, and the production made it felt like that way too. It's like, we're not going to have announcers. We're not going to take this seriously. Yeah. Scuffle was a little bit better. I also thought that it was nice that Penn actually brought a team, like a real team. So that was good. They did pretty well. You'd expect, I guess, a team to do pretty well against a lot of teams' other backups. The salute had Jim and Shane. So Gibbons and Shane were on the call, except the finals didn't have announcers.
What?
Yeah, right. That was kind of weird. And so it was like I was watching like the semis, and then they were calling the match, and and then they're like, okay, we're cutting out. Consies are next, and I was like, okay, well, they're just taking a break, go have a beer, and then they'll come back for the finals or something. I thought that's what I expected, right? Because when they're like, yep, we're out, hey, and and then they were like really were gone, you know.
Right.
They had a plane to catch or whatever. I don't know what happened. Like Flo only paid them. They couldn't come up with that final scratch, you know, like, so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of weird. Like, I mean, I don't think I was like, it's not like the NFL, like college football where I was on like the alternate feed, you know,
Right.
pretty sure that wasn't what was happening there, but I'm not sure. Crowds, I don't think that these tournaments aren't designed for crowds. I mean, in a sense, like they're, like the production, like, and there's all these mats going on and everything. But I just think that people, like, I kind of got into it with, I don't know, I say get into it, but I had a discussion with someone on X this week about like how poorly attended like the Clarion Open was or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you ever been to an Open? Like, they are not designed for like fans at all, and they really shouldn't be, right? I mean, like, in some ways it's there's no way that these venues are making money, and every picture there's like, one occupied seat for every 10, and so like when they talk about, hey, this used to be a great event, and I mean, in a lot of ways, like, they were always there sort of by charity and by choice, and like, and now that like people aren't sending wrestlers, like, or teams aren't sending their starters, it's sort of like, I don't know, I feel like the writing's on the wall. What I really did enjoy though is watching like the duels, this weekend. So Nebraska looked really good. Put it to UNI pretty good. I thought it was excellent. Like, I love Nebraska's like media team. So they do a press conference live. Mm-hmm. They do it live on X. So they'll have some wrestlers, and then they do the whole Manning press conference, and it's all live on X. So kudos to them. I mean, in terms of growing the sport and making things readily available, having like press conferences and things like that, where people are reacting to events. I mean, when you watch like the media day stuff, like, well, I mean, Penn State media day is probably like the worst for Kale, just avoids answering any questions, or whatever. But like, I mean,
just get me through this.
Yeah. But like, I mean, when you get the guys, like the wrestlers, and when you get like the coaches, like after the meet, I mean, they're fired up, man. They're still like pumped up on adrenaline. They're ready to talk, and they're just, so kudos to Nebraska for doing that. Also, Nebraska looked really good. And then Ohio State just plowed through Oregon State. So I guess that's the OSU. I was saying OSU, but I guess it worked for both of them. But like, anyway, like I thought that, like, man, that was a fun duel. And like, Geog took Rademacher to overtime. I mean, they look on point. And so, but that, I mean,
they should have a tri-duel with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, right.
OSU, like,
yeah, right. Loser changes their name, or like, but I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, but certainly like the dual production, the announcers, everything about watching duels is so much better than watching open tournaments, and like, and they go fast. I don't have to set some reminder on Flow to like page me when this match happens, or I mean, it's just like sit down and get it done. Anyway, very good. All right, Roy, tell us about Rumblers and Tumblers.
Rumblers and Tumblers. So what is a Rumbler? A Rumbler is somebody that we think is moving up, not just in like rankings, but also just in terms of like exposure or relevance, or just sort of becoming more of a story of their having success. And a Tumbler is somebody who was already a story, who is maybe not fulfilling the story, or maybe going down in the rankings, something like that. It's a little bit relative to where you started. Some of these Rumblers are coming out of nowhere. Some of them are people who thought were going to be AAs and are looking like maybe in the national finals conversation. And Tumblers is like basically the opposite.
All right. Awesome. So first thing we start off with is the accountability check-in. So after we label someone as a Rumbler or we label them as a Tumbler, we just like to keep track of them and see how they're doing. And so Wazlewski from Penn took third at the Scuffle.
Took third, which is a little bit of a small tumble for him. He was ranked as high as second
Okay.
in some polls, around fourth or fifth, because he was a blood round guy last year and he was undefeated and he was smashing some people. Yeah, I watched some of his matches, even the ones he won were like kind of close. So I don't know if there's people watching film on him or whatever, but he didn't look like the hammer he'd been most this year, but he still took third. So there's that. Angelo Posada from Stanford, he beat his guy from ISU 2-0. There were some like freshman moments in that match, though. I think hopefully he learns.
Yeah.
Learns from that. Davino's rolling.
Yeah. He got a headbutt really early in his match, and then it was kind of like, it looked like he was like sort of dazed a little bit, took him a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like once that snowball started going downhill, like it was not too good. So the tumbler side of things, lots of tumblers are not wrestling. So I guess the coaches like us have identified that and it may be injuries too, I mean, like Aaron Nagao would be an example of a tumbler, and he came back and we talked about a little bit before it happened. He was going to be at the scuffle and he was going to get to see CJ and some, top guys. And then he won one tight match and then medically forfeited out. I think he was down big when he medically forfeited out. So yeah. So, I mean, there's probably a lot of different reasons why these tumblers are tumbling. And some of those things are keeping him out of the lineup. And yeah, Richie Figs. Wow.
Oof.
Yeah.
I wrote. Some people were noting that he does seem to be getting the first takedown in a lot of his matches.
Yes.
And just not able to finish matches, and he got stuck. Kind of actually reminded me of like Dean Peterson sticking him last year. Or was that 2 years?
Yeah, no, it was last year. We were there.
It was last year. Yeah. And but he wasn't winning this match when he got stuck. He was losing 22-9. So,
yeah, I
having a rough year.
I feel a little bad for Richie Figs. He's like everybody picks on him because everyone thinks they know how much like money he got paid, and everyone picks on him because I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of ways it's unfair that he's sort of being singled out, as the guy. And then it's like, who knows? He's up a weight. Like, I don't know. Anyway, for sure he's not having the year he would like to have, though.
Yeah.
We'll stay there. All right, Roy. So who's your Rumbler?
All right, I got Nick Bouzakis. Besides a loss to a teammate, he seems like he's just really, really wrestling well. And I think he teched someone who's ranked 10th.
Yeah.
This weekend, and this is killing people. So, I never put him on my Rumbler before because I didn't even know if he was going to be a starter.
Right.
After losing to his teammate. But seems like he's firmly established himself as the starter, and he's looking like somebody that is going to do really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he gets a chance to wrestle a good tournament and hope he All-Americans. I think he's a fun guy to watch, for sure. But yeah, he looked good. I mean, he's probably should have always been that down at 125.
Right.
Looking back at things. All right. Well, I thought I had two Rumblers, and again, the idea of the Rumbler is like someone who we didn't really look at necessarily as an All-American, and like now we feel like they have a chance, or we felt like they were an All-American, but now they're looking like they could be like a champ. So I thought that Zeke Witt from North Dakota State, he beat Provo, got the first takedown against Lilladal, and then he lost to Eddie in the finals of the scuffle. But I mean, that's a solid loss. I think it was 4-1. I mean, so he's definitely. I mean, anything can happen at 125. And like he's definitely in that picture of like potentially sneaking into an All-American type of role, and somebody who I want to track. In the second half of the season for sure. Good aggressive wrestler, and then Dom Siriano, Northern Colorado, outstanding wrestler of the scuffle. So I mean, UNC is like down, right? I mean, so that was nice to see.
And that's Northern Colorado.
Yeah, right. Not North Carolina. Yeah. So like, yeah, they're like in the 50s or something. There's only like 70 teams or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're in a.
Whatever happened to Alirez? What's he up to these days?
I think he like when I think he had like a significant injury, like nerve damage type stuff. That so I just don't think he's recovered from that. But because I thought he had a good shot. I thought he was going to make like world teams and stuff. I mean, he looked really good, and then just kind of disappeared. All right, and my Tumbler list, like I said, there's not a lot of Tumblers wrestling. I decided that Cody Chittum dropping 2 matches at Midlands. I mean, they say he might redshirt and things like that, but Cody Chittum is certainly somebody before this season, whatever way he decided to go, you would consider him in the mix for All-American, and like I don't feel like that's in the cards for him this year. And again, he might redshirt. I mean, they keep saying that, so we'll see. But he did not have a good outing at the Midlands tournament, for sure. Who you got here, Roy?
All right, I got Nasir Bailey, who lost to somebody from Central Iowa.
Right.
Which I'm pretty sure is a junior college, right?
I think so.
I think so. So, and then Jordan Williams won the Soldier Salute, right?
Yes.
It's like they both can't have, like Jordan Williams and Nasir Bailey don't have good days on the same day.
Yeah.
And then just holiday tournaments in general. I feel like, there was some talk about, not a lot of starters are going to these things, and you could feel it when you were watching it. You could feel it that it might be over. I'm hearing people say that they think it might be over, and it felt that way. Yeah,
I mean, they certainly don't have like, we can't give up on this cash cow of all the hot dogs we're selling. There's like, I mean, it's a friends and family type event, and like, so there's not any sort of financial reason to keep these things going. I mean, Flow likes to have content, so they'll they'll broadcast it, but like, yeah, I agree.
It could be like they should do like an NIT, like a tournament for non-starters to start a storyline for next year. Like I won the backup national championship. Or a Frost Soft thing or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I kind of. I mean, the backup story is already like too big and too wrong a story. Like in my mind, I don't know. In my opinion, like everyone's talking about Penn State, backups and like how they won this tournament and they could have they could field 3 teams that could win. Like or All-American at some weights or whatever. And I mean, like, I mean, it's kind of like not all that interesting a storyline to me, I guess, if you're like a Penn State fan, I guess. So the idea of like, I mean, if you had an all backup tournament, Penn State would win that too.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like, it'd be your selling point for the transfer portal. Which is probably why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true. Right.
like I'm the best, 157 pounder out there. Who wants me?
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, honestly, I feel like, all the guys who pay, like all the schools that pay are already paying. And like so, if somebody who's a Joe Seeley or something, I assume that he would have to take a pay cut. To leave would be my guess, and that he just want to like win a title or compete. Right. The guys who leave Penn State are going to leave because they want to compete because they're not, they're already getting paid, right? So for sure. All right, well, I agree. I mean, and Cliff Keen's at risk too, right? With the national duels changing their date, and like maybe we just,
Well, I think there's something to that. Was such an exciting event, the national duels, that it feels like almost weird now to have this lull of like a month and a half.
Right.
Like the old style was Midlands and Scuffle were really big deals, and you could almost like start following wrestling right now. Yeah. If you missed everything up to this point, that's fine. You just missed the initial sorting out of some rankings, but the real season kind of starts now. But it feels different that like I was so like pumped up for wrestling in mid-November, and then there was kind of like one kind of cool thing every weekend, but not like a ramp up to January.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we are.
So it would be kind of cool if they had the national duels like this weekend.
Right.
And got rid of Scuffle and Midlands and Soldier Salute. I mean, Iowa's not sending starters to Soldier Salute. That's kind of an indication that that's run its course. And then you could keep Cliff Keen as a cool introduction this season, right? Yeah, and Journeyman. And then you crown your national duel champion, between the week of New Year's, and then you go into your duel season. So I don't know. I mean, I think that would be more fun for me. I mean, I really like Cliff Keen, and I had way more fun watching Nebraska UNI and OSU versus OSU this weekend than I did watching tournaments with no announcers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they had Scuffle did better. Scuffle had announcers and things. It was
Scuffle. Yeah. I spent an afternoon with the 4 screens, going from mat to mat, watching guys. That was cool.
Yeah, Scuffle did good. Better. All right. That's what I got. You got anything else?
No. We'll do the preview of next weekend on the Wednesday show.
Yeah, we got a big weekend. We got RAF coming up. We got a variety of things to talk about. So, and obviously Cal Baptist. There's a ton of potential topics for the weekend show. But yeah, I think that pretty well wraps up the weekend. Thanks everybody for jumping in, like and subscribe, and we'll see everybody Wednesday. Roy, you want to take us out?
Yeah, don't forget, toe the line in everything you do.
Wadar out.